Well,
What's up, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Freakopotamus podcast. How's everybody doing today? Everybody had a great Thursday, I hope. It's Friday Eve, Friday Junior, as some people say. Oh, well, I was supposed to have two guests with me tonight. Richard Cole from Amari Music Talk was supposed to be here. He may pop in at any minute. He didn't cancel. Um, I did have one cancellation. That was Miss India from the Purple Townhouse. Oh, there's Richard. Let me bring Richard in real quick.
All right.
What's up,
Yeah.
bro?
Hey, what's going on, man?
All right, I didn't think you were gonna make it, bro.
Yeah, it took a while. We had some storms roll through, so had to wait for the Wi-Fi to kick back in.
Oh, okay, I hear you. I just started like 2 minutes ago, man. I thought I was gonna be doing this thing solo.
Oh no, no, we're gonna leave you hanging.
Yeah, I'm glad you can make it, bro. Miss India, she had to cancel. She's a little under the weather. You know, she went up to New York City to do the I think it was the 40th anniversary of Purple Rain Symposium.
Yeah.
So she came down with a little something. So hopefully we can get her on soon. But hopefully she's out
Okay.
there
Get well
watching it.
soon.
Yeah, get well soon, Miss India. Yeah, so basically, man, what we're here for tonight is the celebration's coming up in June. Have you ever been?
Nah, I've never been.
No, I've never been either. What about Paisley? You been to Paisley?
I've been to Paisley, like 1992.
92?
Yeah.
Wow. How did you get to Paisley in 92? It was probably high security at that time, man.
Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you. Yes, it was very high security. Yes, it was. And we didn't get very far.
Okay.
Yeah, we got. I don't even think he was there. I have to check. Maybe the old Uptown or the old Vault book to see where he was during that time.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, it was 95, 94. It wasn't 92. It was 94.
94. Okay. Okay. Wow. So you just basically went to the fence? Is that how it worked?
No, we got to the front door, but probably after that is when they started stopping people at the fence. Though.
Okay. Okay. Man, I've always wanted to go to Paisley, especially when we had our boy alive and well with us, But I never made it while he was alive. But thankfully, I was able to go a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
But I've never
Yeah,
been
I
to a
would know.
celebration.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I don't know what all we'll talk about, but I guess we'll compare the celebrations now versus the ones that he did have, like,
Right.
2000, 2001,
Right.
during those years.
Right. I can imagine what it must have been like for him to be there during an actual celebration, man.
Right.
I've got some footage I want to show tonight of those celebrations back in 2001 when he was actually there in the foyer, like actually talking to the fans.
Mm.
I couldn't imagine what that was like.
Oh, is
But
that I was gonna say, is that the Kevin Smith footage or?
yeah, the Kevin Smith
Yeah.
footage. It's like
Okay. Yeah.
actually, I'm gonna try to bring it to the stage now. See,
Yeah.
during the 2001, that was the rave unto era. No,
No,
98 was
2001.
Rainbow
Rainbow Children
Children.
was yeah.
Rainbow Children. There you go.
Yeah, some folks having a good time.
Oh man. Man, sitting there with the fans,
Yeah.
man, I could imagine
Ah, it
what that was like.
must have been nice.
Q&A session, probably Bible study.
And representing.
Gee, of course, you got to have hoops outside, right?
Right. Is that
Oh man, I hope I don't get slapped by the YouTube cops by using this video. I thought it would be interesting to look back to when the celebrations first began.
right?
And wow,
Man.
yeah, take that down. There we go. All right.
Man.
So let's see. We got a couple comments up in the chat to have a black and white under the cherry moon party celebration.
Huh. Okay.
So while we're on the subject of what would be your dream celebration, what do you think your dream celebration would be consist of?
Whoo. Man. You know, I don't know. I haven't never been to the recent ones or even the ones from, 2001.
Right.
Um, I mean, I guess in real time, I don't know. I would like to see it more like, kind of more like a Comic Con almost.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've heard even Michael Dean reference that like a long time ago. Um, just the idea of having it more like in that vein,
Right.
where you go and still do a lot of the stuff that they do now, but have a whether it's on a Saturday or Friday, have a day where they just announce stuff. Just
Right.
have it like, okay, we're going to put this box set out in summer of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have this CD standalone CD from the vault, in Christmas, or we're going to release this unreleased concert, on Blu-ray in the
Right.
fall of 2027.
Right.
Just have
Right.
it, just have it like that, and I think that would have more people to go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know you were talking about before the price points
Mm-hmm.
on it, and I know it's a different thing because I know when Prince was around, he could do a 5 city tour,
Right.
you know, bank a couple of million and keep the cost low
Mm-hmm.
for people to attend. But now, I see they're trying to, they don't have that as a luxury, so hence the high pricing. But yeah, I would like to see it more, more cost effective.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what the price point was back in 2001. Was it like what it is now? Can't be. I mean,
Definitely. I mean, adjustment for inflation for one,
yeah.
and I think just throughout, ever since he opened up Paisley Park, to his fans,
Right.
I think he, outside of some charity event, where it's like, okay, well, it's going to cost you 60 or $100 to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of those things for charity, I think he really went out of his way to ensure that everybody was able to afford to come
Mm-hmm.
and see the show, or see whatever was going on at Paisley Park, not just a celebration, but any
Right.
given night.
Any given night. You're right.
Yeah.
Man, what it must have been like to actually live in Minneapolis and hear that announcement, and you're already there.
Uh, the closest I've had to that one, I was living in San Francisco, and this was during the Love Sexy tour, and we
Mm-hmm.
already had our tickets and everything for the show at the Oakland Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
But that, I think it was either that morning, might have been that morning or the day before. they announced that they were doing a after show at the Warfield.
Okay.
And I was like, oh snap, we gotta,
Mm-hmm.
and me and a couple of musician friends of mine, we all scrambled the Tower Records, stood in line to
Mm-hmm.
get tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing about it was, while we're all standing in line, this car pulls up, and somebody says, "Look, there's Danny Glover." And we look, and sure, it's Danny Glover, and he's looking like what the hell is this? Because he was trying to score some tickets for his kids or something, but he was like, he looked at that line like, nah, I'm gonna go make
Yeah.
a phone call.
Wow. Yeah. Similar thing happened to me. And I was living in Baltimore area back during the Jam of the Year tour,
Okay.
and he did a show in Baltimore that night. And of course, after the concert, there's going to be an after party. So they announced that there was going to be an after party like a couple miles down the road in Laurel, Maryland, and but it wasn't an actual after show. It was like an after party. He didn't perform or anything, but he was there.
Okay.
And fortunately, when they announced the venue, I was like, "Oh my God, I know exactly where that's at." So fortunately, we didn't have to get tickets or anything like that. But you had to get there in time to get in line, get sized up by the bodyguards. It was just a blast being in the same room
Right.
with them.
Yeah. Those after shows, they were very special.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I was never fortunate enough to catch an actual after show, other than what I saw on video.
Mhm.
But yeah, he was spontaneous like that, man. But I don't know what would be my dream celebration. I've been pondering that thought for a couple of days. Um, I don't know. I know they've had a lot of guests over the years, and I was trying to think of some that they haven't had, and I would like to see
Mhm.
something like, of course, everybody would love to see the original Time members
Yeah.
come back. I would love to see that at
Yeah.
Paisley, and while we've got the original Time members, let's pull Jerome and Jelly Bean out, put them with the original family members,
Yeah.
and do that.
Yeah, there you go. It's like Friday night, family, Saturday night, time, the
Yeah,
original time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Pull
maybe
some
Madhouse for Sunday night.
Madhouse for Sunday night. There you go. Yeah. Well, somebody mentioned have like a black and white under the cherry moon party celebration. I was
Ah,
thinking
yeah,
that would be cool. What would be cool if they like created a set to resemble the sets in the movie and brought in like Mary Sharon or brought in Jerome and do one of the scenes from the movie.
yeah.
Let fans participate and do one of the scenes.
Or you know what? Yeah, I mean, you know, um, I wouldn't mind seeing like a cosplay section where,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, maybe if you don't get the original actors, get
Right.
a couple of the fans that I know they know the lines forwards and backwards.
Right.
Have them
Right.
dress up and you know
Yeah.
the have a make like a little contest or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Do a little something different.
Mm.
I've seen the parties. I've seen footage of the parties going on around town. Um,
Uh,
and I think who else would I have show up? Just pull them out of the woodworks, man. Like Taja Seville. Um,
yeah.
has Andre Simone been there to a celebration? I can't recall.
Um, was he at the first one?
Possibly. I know Jesse Johnson was there,
Yeah, he was.
but
That was definitely the first one.
yeah,
Maybe not.
the Q&A. I bet the Q&A is just something to see, like the panels,
Right.
stories. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I wish more
Uh,
people were in the chat to talk about what they would like to see. Um,
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's been it's been a problem getting people in the chat, man. I'm a newbie at this, so
it's
you know
all
I'm trying to
good.
trying to build my audience. So
Oh
eventually
yeah,
it's gonna happen.
yeah. I enjoy what you're putting out here, man.
I appreciate it, man. I ran across your stuff. I was like, I got to get this dude on the show, man. He knows some stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me
Hmm.
on.
Like I think like the last one I watched was like the one you did on was it the unreleased time stuff like a corporate world? I can't
Oh,
remember.
what would make the perfect final time album?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, yeah, that one. I don't know because with Morris Day kind of retiring,
Hmm.
um, I know he left that door open. So if the original seven ever did want to get back together,
Hmm.
he left that door open for that to happen. And I mean, it's not too late.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the status is with the name change,
Yeah.
or not the name change, but the fact that the estate owns the name, the time now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was really disappointed to see that last Condensate album didn't go as far as it did because that was a really good album, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I know they tried to do some live shows with that in the beginning, and then it just kind of fell apart.
Oh, yeah. Well, they did Vegas though, but
Mm,
that was before Condensate.
okay,
Yeah, they did a Vegas run right before they started recording that album. I think like towards the end, they had a few songs in circulation,
okay,
and then I guess, like I said, not being able to use that name anymore.
right.
Um, I think there's some songs they had to kind of leave off because there was one they kept talking about called Stingy. And I'm thinking that was like a pure, unadulterated time song. And they
Mm-hmm.
had to, not put it on the album because they had to go in
Mm-hmm.
a different direction.
Right.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
think
that is a nice album though.
very nice, man. I think like 100% of it was not written by Prince. I think it was mostly Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis for the most part.
Yeah,
Morris,
yeah, Jesse, yeah.
Jesse, yeah. Let's see what's somebody saying in the chat. The Purple Paisley Brunch already did that with Jerome. We celebrated 35th anniversary too. It was a great night. Okay.
Okay, cool. But we
Um,
got
I'm
its 40th anniversary in 2026.
2026. Yeah, you're right. Wow, it's been that long. Wow, that was when that movie came out. That was my senior year of high school.
Ah,
Telling on myself.
no, it's all good. I was second year community college.
Oh wow, okay. All right. A couple of years ahead of me.
That was the album.
Yeah. You were talking about making celebration more like a Comic Con. I could see that, and I could see like a record convention style setup where they're selling all kinds of unreleased material, which I see that a lot at regular record conventions.
Mm,
That would be pretty cool.
yeah. Mm. Record. Let's see. We got Record Store Day coming up, but
Hmm.
no Prince material this time. Is it?
Right. Yeah, I am. I'm really curious to see what's going to come out of that vault, man. I mean, a lot of stuff's coming out of there so far, but I think they need to probably push more stuff out of there instead of pushing rain boots, and umbrellas. Out.
Man, don't get me started on
No, I don't want to start on that.
that.
Amazingly, though, a lot of people are loving it, especially females. They're loving it. They're loving it.
Well, if I mean, I don't know who's like running things officially, or who makes the final decision on a lot of that stuff. But man, I'm sure that they have a demographic. Like, okay, they know, okay, there's 15% of the females that are part of the fan base are going to buy this. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever they charge for it, they'll sell it to that 15%
Right.
and probably make their money from it.
Right.
But because we see more emphasis on the merchandise and really maybe not a lot of emphasis on actual music releases
Mm-hmm.
or even a plan, like you know yeah, release, say, an 80s super deluxe one year and then a
Yeah.
later release the next year.
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of a plan in place. Or to do like one of my favorite things, um, as far as like legacy artists, is Neil Young.
Mm-hmm.
Where he has like, it's a subscription model. I think it's like $25 or $35. I think it's per year,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got access to everything, official releases. And he was just as bootlegged as anybody else
Mm-hmm.
too. So all of the unreleased live stuff, all of the unreleased studio stuff,
Mm-hmm.
25, $35 a year, you've got access to all of
Okay, that sounds a lot like
it.
what Prince was doing with NPG Music Club at
Yeah,
one
well,
time.
yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Prince was, Prince and David Bowie, but I say more so with Prince, with the model that he set up with the MPG Music Club. Remember, there was no really, let's see, Napster didn't come in until what, the late 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we didn't get iTunes until well into what, 2000 and, oh, when was iTunes? Like,
Yeah, around the time the first iPhone came out, what,
yeah, yeah,
2007 or eight, something like that.
7 to 8, right. So
Yeah.
by then, you had Prince that was doing it for 4 or 5 years before iTunes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
And
Yeah, he was way ahead of it, way ahead of his game.
oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That's a business model that I do miss. No, but
Oh
like I
yeah.
said, there's no plan with the estate, at least that we know of.
Mm-hmm. And I can remember before any of that came along, uh, most of the bootleg stuff that I bought, telling on myself again, uh, was mail order. Like I used to look in this book called, what was like a weekly newspaper called Gold Mine. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
You go in the back of the Gold Mine newspaper and look for all the bootleg stuff, and I'd see like Prince bootlegs. So I'd physically send something in the mail. Yeah, send me a list of what you got.
Yeah, I think mine, it was Spin Magazine.
Spin magazine. Okay.
And in the back, but this was different. It was like they had an ad for like an actual fan magazine. So I was like, all right,
Okay.
I'll check it out. So I sent away for that. And instead of getting a magazine, I got like 4 or 5 sheets of paper that was stapled together,
Yeah.
and it had like the list of list of releases,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
and it
exactly
had
what
like
I get.
and it had a little bit of news too. Like they would Xerox, some kind of newspaper article. Because I
Mm-hmm.
remember that was the first time I heard about, Prince had fired his managers and hired Albert McNolly, and they were going to work on a Robert Johnson movie. Of course, they were going to do Graffiti Bridge, and
Mm-hmm.
they were going to work on that documentary also. That we
Mm-hmm.
only got like what, 10 minutes of.
Right. Right. Yeah, I can remember. I think I probably bought the Black Album from that stapled stack of paper Black Album and some other stuff like Camille. I bought Camille and you know
Uh, yeah,
lots of video footage.
what did I get? They have the Triple Threat tour.
Yeah, yeah,
Cassette, yeah.
yeah. Video. I had like VHS tapes coming like every every week, man. I ought to get a new Prince concert. Like I got like the Controversy tour and you name it, Triple Threat tour. I was in heaven, man. But
Oh, those
you know,
were those were the days.
in fact, I still have all of those VHS tapes, all of
Nice.
the VHS tapes, all the cassette tapes. I kept all of that stuff.
Yeah, I might have some of the cassette tapes floating around.
Mm, but now, I mean, stuff like that's so accessible through YouTube and whatnot. You pretty much find
Yeah,
anything now.
yeah, and I don't know. Hmm, it's kind of we have access to that stuff on YouTube, but then again, what's the plan?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
know when he was alive, you couldn't find anything on YouTube, but now it's
Oh,
it's totally different. He was shutting YouTube down.
right and left. Yeah, you couldn't play. You couldn't have your kids sing "Purple Rain" at their own birthday party. Up, shut it down.
Exactly right, man. And I don't know how strict the estate is on that, but it seems like they've kind of loosened up because there's so much stuff on there now that would have never been there.
Right.
Um,
Uh, it's I don't know. Like I said, we can probably spend 2 or 3 hours talking about
yeah, yeah,
how do you say?
yeah, we've gone totally off subject, but I'm loving it anyway. I
Yeah.
mean, I could
Okay. Yeah.
talk.
Let's something positive. Get back to yeah. Get back to the celebration.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think what else would I do? What kind of dream celebration would I like to see? And then I mentioned the time. I mentioned like acting out scenes, whatnot. Wow. Now bring back
Mm,
Cat. I don't think Cat's been there.
mm, yeah. I don't. Yeah, but
She's a loose cannon,
she's
right?
yeah. I was trying to find the right words for that.
Love her to death, but yeah, she's I remember the interview that I saw with Michael Dean, and she was
Oh yeah,
loose
she was.
all over the place.
Yeah, she was going ham on.
Oh yeah, as well as Robin Power. Love Robin Power. But she was all
Oh
over the
yeah,
place.
but you're right. Yeah, it would be nice to see. I get if in a perfect world, just
Mm,
to have them participate or do a Q&A or host a panel. Or,
yeah, yeah, nice
uh,
Q&A with those guys. Hmm, I don't know. Bring in people from the background like Albert Fargnoli, those guys.
yeah, okay. Mm. Say bring in who now?
Fargnoli and those guys. You still
Oh
around?
yeah,
Yeah. Just for like a
yeah,
Q&A, some stories.
yeah. But I'm surprised they haven't put out like a book or anything yet.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm surprised myself. I thought for sure that would have happened. Uh, sure they got some stories to tell. I was just brainstorming here.
Mm.
Apollonia 6. That would be nice for them to show up. Maybe do a show. You know, I'm sure they won't dress like they used to dress, but just to be on stage.
Just be on stage and rep. Yeah.
Yeah, do a show. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a different world now. We
yeah,
don't want to get
yeah.
paid. We don't want to get Paisley Park canceled.
Exactly, exactly. Um, wow, trying to think of some proteges that. I mentioned Tasha Seville. Maybe some lesser known proteges. Remember, oh man, it was a was it a duo back in the '80s called Good Question? Remember those guys?
I was just, I was just thinking of.
They lasted about a minute, right? Good Question. Wow.
Oh, I'm laughing because, man, because I think, a lot of us were, if nothing else, trying,
Yeah.
either having bands or,
Yeah.
trying to write songs, trying to make it and, sit around and have those conversations. Oh, man, what if we were on Paisley Park?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and those dudes.
I could
And
have
I
made
mean,
it. I could have been. Yeah. I could have been on
I
Paisley,
feel,
right?
I don't feel like Eddie Murphy right now. That host. Yeah, when I find them, I'm gonna take a chunk out there. That should have
Oh
been my
wow.
spot. That should have been my group sign
Exactly.
to Paisley Park.
Exactly right, man. Wow. Good question. I
Ah,
remember seeing an interview with them on Video Soul, Donnie Simpson. I don't know. I got nothing.
man. And
um,
not to hate. I mean, they got this spot, but
hmm
you know,
Hey, they were signed to Paisley. We weren't.
right.
They did something right. Prince likes something.
Yeah, but yeah, and you can't really find anything
Yeah.
on them. No, like what besides Video Soul, but I mean,
hmm
that album came and went, and
hmm
nothing.
Yeah. Was there another guy? Tony Lamont?
Yeah. Now, yeah, he was. I mean, he was Lenny Kravitz's best friend. I think originally, I think Prince was going to sign them as a group
hmm
originally.
hmm
Um, I don't know. I gotta maybe read Lenny's book to get the full
hmm
story on that. But yeah, but I guess Lenny went in his direction, but Tony Lamont ended up being signed
hmm
to the label. But
hmm
the one thing, and I was watching this. I think it was YouTube. I think. What's that? It's that one, not a podcast, but like they kind of do like a makeshift Prince documentary. And there's like several videos.
Like clips put together.
Right. I mean, and they do a lot of. I mean, uh, props to them for doing their homework because I mean, they
Yeah.
really the way it's edited. I
Yeah.
mean, they go find every audio interview from everybody imaginable, and the way they put
Right.
it together. I mean, and it tells a story.
Yeah, I've seen
But
that.
yeah, and there was a section. I don't know where they got this interview, but they got all these sound bites from Lenny Kravitz,
Okay.
and he was talking about how really talented Tony Lamont was,
Mm.
and I mean he was like super funky, kind of like Sly Stone level
hmm
funky, and he turned the album into Paisley Park, and Prince heard it and was like, "Nah, I can't let this dude be funkier than me," and
Right.
made him go back and redo it, and that ended up being the Tony Lamont album that we got.
Okay. Okay.
Because I liked a lot of tracks on it, but it did feel a little too polished, I guess. But hearing Lenny Kravitz tell the story,
hmm
it makes sense now. Like, yeah, there was so much potential in that, and it should have done a lot better than it did. But I think if they had put it out the way that Tony Lamont originally recorded it, I think
So
he would have.
yeah, I gotta go back and find that one. I think I probably listened to it once and didn't listen to it again. Maybe I need to go back and find that one. Did it have like the Minneapolis sound?
Oh, and the name, I think.
I mean, did he have his own sound, or did he have like Prince's sound?
Oh, no, no, it wasn't a Princess sound. It was like I said, he was like the way Lenny Kravitz was describing it. It was like I said, Sly Stone level
Okay,
funky, but
yeah.
not 70s. Like too many drugs, Sly Stone.
Mm-hmm. mm-hmm.
But actually, even a lot of that was funky. It just
Mm-hmm.
just didn't promote it well, or it didn't catch on with the audience in the right place, right time.
Right, right. Yeah, Tony Lamont.
Yeah, but
You
I like.
remember? Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
You remember? I think it was back in '92. Prince did it was like a televised special. Like I think it was on the ABC network or something. He was promoting the Symbol album,
Mm.
and it was from Paisley Park, and he brought out this group called the Crayons. Remember those?
Early. Yeah. But I
Yeah,
didn't tape. I remember watching it, but I don't know why I didn't tape it.
yeah. I've got
No,
that
but
somewhere in my stack of VHSs. It was called the Ride Divine.
yeah,
Yeah, the Ride Divine. Troy
yeah,
Bear was hosting,
yes.
and I think, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Sonny T had something to do with the Crayons. I think maybe Sonny
Yeah,
T
that
was
sounds
actually a part of the Crayons.
gotcha. Okay.
Got to go
Oh,
back.
and then wait, didn't they kind of morphed into MPLS?
I think so. I think you're right.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was right around that time where Prince got the $100 million contract, and
Mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers was putting all the money into Paisley Park, and then probably, of course, we all know what happened by 1993.
Mm-hmm.
That all of that fell apart. So I wonder why we didn't hear from the Crayons or even MPLS after that.
Right. Right. That makes me think of that 1-800 New Funk album. Um, with was it Margie Cox was on there and a bunch of other people.
Hmm.
Because Margie
Yeah.
Cox was actually Tamara of Tamara and Scene, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Which is very
Yeah.
confusing because people would think that her name would be Tamara, but that was kind of Jesse's thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Now that speaking of, I guess trying to bring it back to Celebration, that's something that would kind of have it stand apart. Now I don't know what type of, like, I know they sell like merchandise, and I guess I don't know, they don't sell any actual physical albums or anything. That's left up to the print store in Minneapolis
Hmm.
airport, right?
I think you're right. I can't recall any music being sold in the gift store at Paisley. Not that I can remember.
Yeah, because I remember in '94, um, I was there for that Minneapolis Black Music Expo because I also
Okay.
had family that lived out there too.
Hmm.
But when not at the expo, I mean, went to Glam Slam, went to the NPG store when that was open, and that was nice. You could get physical releases of stuff. Like
Hmm.
I don't know why I didn't do it then, but I do remember they did have copies of the family on CD
Okay. All right.
there.
That
But
that was.
yeah, but I think that's something that could work. Even if it's just exclusive to
Hmm.
going to Paisley Park. Just press the family albums, or press Vanity Six, or sell some copies of, like you said, 1-800 New Funk,
Hmm. Hmm.
and just if not for maybe an exclusive, like say first month or two you can only get it there, and then
Hmm.
kick it out to the mainstream. But yeah, I think at least for Celebration to kind of do it that way. I know now we're kind of turning the Prince Estate into old school Disney. Remember?
Yeah,
Up, you better get it now, or else it's going back into the vault.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, they love to
But
push that limited edition on you.
right. But I mean, that would make the celebrations more. At least that would be my idea of a celebration.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely do that periodically. That they'll push out old albums on vinyl.
Mm,
They'll go back and push out like Raven to the Joy Fantastic or something like that.
right.
Yeah, that would be nice to have a celebration. For the fans that are there to have first dibs on stuff like that.
Yeah. Or just again, maybe it would offset some of that cost
Hmm.
because whatever you charge for a CD, whatever you charging for vinyl, and the folks that show up, they are going to buy it.
Oh yeah,
Especially if it's something unique like, oh well, I've never had this album on vinyl before, or oh
right.
cool, I can get this on CD, or
Hmm.
even where you could purchase a download code
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
I know we kind of giving away ideas for free.
Well, yeah, that would be crazy, right? Out of my 162 followers, Paisley's listening.
So the estate has a plant in the chat.
Hmm. Yeah, I was a little. I don't know. I guess I was a little perturbed a couple of years ago at Paisley because a large part of me wanted to think that they were stealing my merchandise ideas because I do merchandise too, right?
Okay.
And I saw something very similar to what I had done. Like I had done like a blue jean jacket with Prince's picture on the back, and like a month later, I saw they were selling a blue jean jacket with Prince's picture on the back.
Yeah. Was it the same picture or was it
It was different. It was
just?
different.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. But people kind of put me in place. They were like, man, anybody can print a blue jean jacket with a picture on the back. But that was just my thinking.
I don't know. You never know. I know I've on a lot of my episodes have spit out a billion ideas.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my check too. No, I'm just
There you go.
yeah. Going to Paisley, I'm gonna find a good question.
Yeah. Good question.
They stole my
Oh,
career, man.
yeah. You're going to make me pull those guys up again, man. See if I can find some footage or something. Wow. Who else is out there that they can bring to Celebration, man? Hmm. There's so many proteges that we have
Yeah.
forgotten about. Not even proteges, just family members. Bring in uh cousin. What's his cousin's name? Is Justice for Cuz. Uh,
Yeah. Is it
Chaz. Is it Chaz?
Chaz
Yeah,
Smith?
yeah.
Yeah.
Bring him in. I know he's
Ooh,
got a lot to say.
that would be a different. That would be a different celebration.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It would take another turn for sure.
Yeah. See now, if I was in charge of curating that, then yeah.
Mm. I meant to mention this at the beginning of the show when you first popped in, but I was going to shout out some of the events that are going on this weekend to commemorate the 8th year of Prince's passing, and they're having an event called Together, celebrating the music and life of Prince, happening at the iconic Uptown Theater in Minneapolis on April 20th, which is this weekend. This tribute concert will pay homage to the legendary Prince, showcasing his timeless music that continues to inspire generations. And on that bill, we've got Michael B., we've got Sonny T, and we've got Tommy Barbarella, Levi Caesar Jr., Tony M., Reverend Mike Scott, and we've
Oh,
got,
okay.
yeah, we got the Steels, we got Chastity Brown, we got Margie Cox, we got G Sharp, Ashley Commodore, JB, DJ Dudley D, Andrea Swinson, and that is at the Uptown Theater in Minneapolis, Saturday, April 20th. Doors open at 7, music at
Nice.
8. I think a lot of people went up to Minneapolis for that. Um, and also, they're doing something at Paisley this weekend called A Night to Remember. It is Sunday, April 21st, the anniversary of Prince's death.
Mm,
6 to 9, A Night to Remember. Please join us on April 21st, 2024, as we celebrate the life of Prince Rogers Nelson. A day to reflect, open to the public, 10 a.m. MPG Music Club is open to the public. All are invited to leave a memorial on the fence. You bring your own or use one of the flowers and message tags that we will be providing on site. People's Organic Cafe will be on site all day with food and beverages. 4:21 p.m. candle lighting in NPG Music Club. This portion will be live streamed. Good for those who are
wow.
unable to join. That's nice to know.
Okay.
A Night to Remember, ticketed event, 6 p.m. Doors open for a free flowing walkthrough tour and time to reflect in the heart of Paisley Park. 7 p.m. Celebration of Life begins in the form of a DJ dance party in MPG Music Club with DJ Holtz providing the soundtrack and People's Organic Cafe presenting the menu. Of course, they are selling tickets for that. But a lot of people have already gone up to Minneapolis for that. I see a lot of posts on Facebook about people that are just getting into town there. So
Okay.
interesting
Nice.
to know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's man, time flies.
Oh
It
yeah.
seemed
Eight
like yeah, it
years.
was just a week. Yeah, just a few days ago. They would talking about the last show
Right.
we did. Yeah, and this is it's weird because even back then it was like there was that show, and then a week later, and like you say, here we are 8 years later, and it just still it just seems so so surreal.
So fresh. Yeah, you're right. It does, man. I can remember clearly. Everybody remembers where they were when they got the news. And I don't know, man. It's one of those things. I was going to say something.
Yeah,
But yeah, time certainly does fly. But I'm glad that they're still carrying on these celebrations, man.
yeah,
I just wish that, like you, I wish they were more affordable and people like us didn't have to get part-time Uber jobs just to save up some money to go to celebration or get on the pole or something.
so every day I'm hustling, hustling, hustling. Man, uh, yeah. Last week went to go see St. Paul and the Minneapolis All Stars. They went
Oh man, did you?
City Winery. Yes,
I know that was funky.
yes, yeah. They represented. Yeah, Jelly Bean and Lissa Ferrillo and Dr. Fink.
Wow,
Yeah.
full lineup,
There's
man.
no Kirky J though, because I know the
No.
first leg of the tour it was advertised with him being on drums,
Hmm.
and nah, he didn't show up for this
Oh
one,
wow.
or even the next, because I think it was like St. Louis was the third to the last
Right.
leg, part of that tour.
Right. Well, I know
So
that was funky, man. I would love to see St. Paul and his crew, like what he's called Minneapolis All Stars. I think that's what it's called.
right,
Yeah.
right.
See that whole crew. I know they did some family stuff.
You know what? They didn't. Again, they advertised, early that
Hmm.
you're going to get, of course, Prince. You're going to get the time. and the family. But nah, they just did Prince numbers, and of course, Jungle Love and the Bird.
Yeah.
They did like a little bit of 7/7,
Okay.
9/3/11. But yeah, everything it was all Prince, mostly the Purple Rain. But they represented with less work. They also did Controversy.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't a weak show by no means. They were on the one and stayed on the one
I could
until the
imagine.
last song. Yep.
I could imagine St. Paul is still a funky dude, man, and
Yeah.
Jelly Bean could still kill some drums.
Well, he was on guitar.
Oh, it was on guitar. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like with F Deluxe, he was on guitar.
Right. Right. And I got to grab some of those. Have you gotten any of those F Deluxe albums?
Yeah, yeah. I got
Okay.
when it first came out, the original studio album,
Mm,
and then I actually got to see them in Chicago, and this is
okay.
back in 2013.
Okay.
So I bought their remix CD, and with the I did I donated to their Kickstarter when they were coming out with the album.
Okay.
So with that, I got what was that? Their live CD,
Yeah.
and then what else was that? Their covers album,
Okay.
AM Static. So
Okay.
that
I've
was
seen a
one of
lot
the
of.
perks, yeah, with the donation.
Okay. I've seen a lot of those albums on eBay a few years ago, and I should have grabbed them then. I don't know if they're still there or not, but I
They
gotta
might be,
see if I
but
can.
Discogs or something. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. Wow. I would have liked to have been at the Jesse Johnson did a show was it last weekend. It was last weekend or the weekend before out
yeah,
in
Oakland.
Oakland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wish I
But
could have
from
gone
the
to that.
oh yeah, from the footage that I've seen, it was nice.
Oh yeah, it was the last time I saw him. '89. I saw him
89.
twice.
Wow.
Twice. Yeah, he can put on a show too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to hear a couple of his solo albums not prior to, but after. Let's see, was it "Bare My Naked Soul" was his first one since the '80s? "Bare
Yeah.
My Naked Soul," yeah,
Yeah.
that one. And what was the one that came after?
Verbal penetration.
There you go.
Yeah, both. To me, actually, those are really my two favorite Jesse Johnson
Oh yeah,
albums.
lots of heavy Curtis Mayfield influence on that last one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There it is.
That and
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
props to the A&M stuff too. I mean, that was
Mm-hmm.
very influential
Mm-hmm.
too. Very funky records. But I think
Mm-hmm.
as far as Jesse and pure guitar, then yeah, Bare My Neck and Soul and Verbal Penetration definitely represent.
Oh yeah, for sure. I saw him on the Triple Threat tour. It's the first time I've seen him. But as far as solo stuff, he came to my town in '85, I think it was. This is when "Can You Help Me" and "Be Your Man" was out,
Okay,
and
the review, yeah.
yeah, the review. I was so excited because it was like him, New Edition. I can't remember who else was on the Jets, another Minneapolis band.
Yeah.
They were on the bill together, and I went strictly to see Jesse. Jesse came out for like 10 seconds, and I think he was sick that night. He's like, "I'm sick.
Oh
I got it."
man.
I was like, "Man, I've been waiting months
Dang.
and months."
Oh man. Let's see. Who was it that was Budweiser Superfest, I think it was.
Mm,
We're here it was Morris Day New Edition.
mm,
I want to say Midnight Star was on that bill
mm,
too, and that was the same thing. Went strict to see Morris Day. This is pre Jam and Lewis New Edition. And I ain't
mm-hmm.
want no. I was like, nah, I don't want to see no.
Right, right, right. That was me. I was all about that Minneapolis sound, man. I knew who I was there to see.
Right.
I was so disappointed. But yeah, I've got Morris Day and the Timer coming to my city in the last part of May. I'm excited about that.
Okay, nice.
I definitely want to catch him before he retires. If that's
Retires.
what he's if that's what he's really going to do. I
I
can't
think
see
so.
it, but
I kind of see it. And I'm sure, that's helped, you know, sustain them over the last few decades.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I can see him wanting to do some other things. It's like I know he loves, being part of the time, being part of that
hmm
legacy. You know, I've never seen him phone it in
right,
at any time, whether it's on YouTube, television, or in person.
right,
And granted, it's only so, it only had so many albums
right.
and so many tracks. So, but they never got old. That's what I said. Never
Mm,
seen them phone it in.
exactly. I never
But
get tired of hearing that stuff, man. I mean, as many years as he's been out there doing this stuff for years and years and years, it never gets old.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. But I can also respect him going out on top.
hmm
Good health. Hopefully good health.
hmm
Um, you know, um, good voice. Like I say,
hmm
still able to put on a show.
hmm
Um, it's sad we're kind of getting into this area where like a lot of, whether it's our generation or, bands that were a generation behind us, you
hmm
know, and it's kind of like, for some of them, it's like, okay, yeah, we know you doing this on because, you probably got cheated out your record deal or
Yeah.
cheated out of the money or lost the money,
Yeah.
to where, you're wheeling folks out on stage now, or, their
Yeah.
voice
Yeah. Yeah.
isn't at 100%.
Yeah.
And then also you got the flip side too of it, where you got some of these acts that are charging these ridiculous prices for
hmm
concert tickets, and they're turning to lip syncing now.
hmm hmm
So it's a sad, in some ways a sad time now, for us to kind of witness people that were like our heroes,
Yeah.
kind of falling off a little bit. But
Yeah.
like I said, but when they could still come out and give 100% and do it because they love doing it
Yeah.
and not phoning it in, and like I said, doing it at good prices that you
Right.
can afford to go check them out.
hmm
You know, like I said, Morris Day, St. Paul. I mean, like I said, they're on the one and they stay on the one.
Let's stay on it. Yeah. 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 You were talking about wheeling people out on stage. A couple groups come to mind, but they're still out there doing it. I got to give them credit. I don't know if they're doing it because they have to or doing it because they want to. But
No, it's
I'm
when it's like that, it's because sadly they have to. They
yeah.
have to. I remember hearing about Isaac Hayes,
hmm
like right after he died, that, that's what it was with him. They were
hmm
literally wheeling him out on stage,
Wow.
and, BB King,
Yeah.
was another one. Not necessarily wheeling him out, but, he was at that advanced age, and with the diabetes and everything, he couldn't
Yeah.
perform like he used to. And, like I said, you and I can understand and have sympathy, but then there's people out there, they feel like, oh, well, I paid this money, and,
hmm
they're expecting more. And it's like, well, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was watching a recent video of Freddie Jackson on stage recently, and people were giving him a hard time. But it's not 1985 anymore. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't know what his record contract was. I mean,
Exactly.
obviously, Anita Baker owns her masters.
hmm
So, she can come out and perform when she feels like it.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not because she needs the money. You know, she comes out because she wants to. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sadly, for a lot of them, you know, they never got that freedom.
Right.
And two, you know, if that's all you know, of course they're not going to go back to, you know, working at McDonald's or
Right.
whatever. You know, that's the life that they know, and they're trying to
Right.
maintain that
Right.
lifestyle.
Yeah. I saw years ago that George Clinton had sold the rights to his music, and so he had to get out
Oh,
there and hustle because he was no longer collecting those royalty checks.
well, now he was cheated out of. He
Okay.
was swindled. Yeah, he was swindled out of his material. I think the only thing that he does own are the four Warner Brothers Funkadelic albums.
Mm-hmm.
He just got those back not too long ago, but he
Okay.
hasn't. Yeah, but he hasn't put out anything on vinyl or CD or streaming
Right.
even. So I don't know. I guess he has a plan. You know, probably once he comes off that final tour, you know, maybe we'll
Mm-hmm.
see that stuff. But I met him. This was 2010.
Okay.
He was doing a signing at Vintage Vinyl, and I remember when I got there, and it was a thing set up where you could either pay for an autograph or pay to have your picture taken with him.
Right.
But it was like as soon as you walked in the door, it was like, no, do not bring him any Parliament stuff. Do not bring any funkadelic stuff. He is not going to sign it. He'll sign his solo albums, but it's because he lost the rights to all that music. You know,
Yeah.
he was kind of bitter about that. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I can
that I
imagine.
mean, yeah. As soon as you walked into it, it's like, no, do not bring him Parliament, funkadelic, nothing. He will not sign
All right, Sir George.
it. But yeah, I think he's been on that fight for years now. I don't know what the
Mm.
status of it is as far as like the Parliament, the publishing, and all of that. I don't know where it stands now, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he's been fighting tooth and nail to try to get that stuff back. And like he'll
Right.
win a judgment, and I think what it
Mm-hmm.
is, they'll appeal the judgment. And it's
Mm-hmm.
been kind of going like that. Like I said, I don't know what's
Mm-hmm.
going on currently, but I know up until maybe almost 10 years ago, that was what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. I think it was the late '90s. They came out with because sampling was heavy in the late '90s. It still is, but there was an album that was put out. I don't know if he had anything to do with it, but it was an album full of samples, like sample some of this, sample some of that. I think that's what it was called. And it was
Yeah,
nothing but
yeah.
George. Yeah.
I've got I got the first volume somewhere on
Mm.
CD, and then I had the Dope Dogs cassette single,
Mm.
and like the second side of that cassette, there's like this bonus material where there's more stuff that you could sample.
Mm.
In fact, I used it on a thing I did called "Listen to the Band." Used one of those samples from that cassette
Okay.
and made a track out of it
Right.
on that. But yeah, it was I don't know, it was weird the legal language on it. It was him that put it out, so it was he endorsed it.
Right. Okay.
But it was a thing like yeah, you would purchase the CD, but if you used one of the samples, I wish I had the CD because it had it written down in there. But it's like if you used one of the samples, then you had to get into this negotiation thing about the the royalties and
Yeah.
advances and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine the stipulations on something like that.
Yeah. Where like I think what Prince's original idea was like, okay, I'm just going to sell this box set of
Mm-hmm.
all samples, $700 one time fee, but whatever you do with it, all the royalties are yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that never came out though, and it was advertised for a long time, but
I remember that. Yep. I remember. I was actually looking forward to that. I was like, wow, I wonder what the price would be on something like that.
Yeah, it was a flat fee, $700, and I think you would
Wow.
call the 1-800-NEW-FUNK, or you know whatever their PO box was. You'd send the $700, and you were
Yeah.
supposed to get this, like, I forget how many. I think it was like 10 CDs and nothing but
Oh wow.
samples. Yeah.
Wow. It's laying around somewhere. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, I'm sure it's in. Yeah, I'm sure it's in the vault, because if
Yeah.
nothing else, I don't know how many of those they manufactured, but
Hmm.
I'm sure they did make at least one prototype, because they did have the display picture. In
Yeah.
fact, let's see, the VHS of Raven to the Joy Fantastic.
Hmm.
I think for like the very end of the cassette, there's a commercial for it.
Okay. Okay. Gonna make me go find it, man.
They break out the VHS for it.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't, I don't know if it's on the original DVD or not.
Mm,
Yeah, that might be easier if anybody has the original DVD of
I think I
Raven to the
do.
Joy Fantastic.
I think I do. I think I do. I'm gonna check that out, and
We're gonna
I got some
put
homework
put
to
it
do.
that into our Blu-ray players.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Well, man, shoot, we've been running an hour. I could talk about music and Prince all night long, but
Oh,
we've been going for
yeah,
about a
same.
little bit over an hour. So I think we probably need to wrap it up, man. I really
Yeah,
appreciate you
yeah.
coming
Like I
on
said,
and go ahead.
yeah. I was about to say thank you for having me on the show. And
Yeah, man, we'll definitely have to do this again under
oh
another
yeah,
another topic. But
definitely.
yeah, let everybody know where they can find you on social media and check your stuff out.
All right. Well, let's see. Probably the easiest way to do that is go to www.richardcolemusic.com, and then that will have the links to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So they have all those links there. And also, it's got some cool little sounds on it. It also has some merchandise, buy a t-shirt.
Nice, nice.
Yep.
All right, folks. Well, check him out. He's full of knowledge. Thanks again, bro. And I will
Yeah.
talk to you the next time, man. And as always, everybody, live, love, dream, y'all. Peace.
Peace.